evening, ghosts and ghouls. You're listening to a horrible podcast.
What's up, ghosts and ghouls? It's the one, the only, JT Ripper, and I'm here with
Todd of Thunder.
And we're back with a horrible conversation. We've let the news pile up a little bit so we could make this get a little episode for you. And take it away, Mr. Thunder.
Yeah, well, Matt and Tyler, the two team directors from Radio Silence, who have directed the last two Scream films, Scream 5 and Scream 6. Well, it's reported that they will not be returning for Scream 7. Instead, the studio is eyeing another director, Christopher Landon, and he directed Freaky and Happy Death Day, so he's in talks of getting the job.
Those are two pretty good movies.
Yeah, I'm not disappointed.
I didn't care for the last Scream movie. 5 was okay. Sure. Let's saw this motherfucker up. Let's make it 10.
Well, Matt and Tyler, the reason why they're not returning to the Scream franchise is because they want to concentrate on their untitled upcoming Universal monster movie that they are working on.
Universal monster.
Untitled. So who knows what they're working on?
Hopefully a new Wolfman. I want a new... No, I take that back. We need a creature. We need a new creature from the Black Lagoon movie.
Well, some other news is before George A. Romero... George A. Romero...
Oh, yeah, I know him. He likes zombies.
Yeah, before he died in 2017, he actually had a script written for the last of his Dead saga. And it was titled Twilight of the Dead. Well, producers at Roundtable Entertainment has greenlit the idea, and they're starting to film it. It's going to be filmed in late 2023, so at the end of this year, we will be treated, well, it probably won't come out to 2024, but they'll start shooting the last of George A. Romero's Dead saga, entitled Twilight of the Dead, whatever that is.
Hopefully I don't know. Make it good.
Yeah.
It's a lot of red flags, but, you know how things go with that.
Yeah. Hopefully they're going to be shooting it in Puerto Rico, so
okay.
I assume that it's going to be revolved around some type of island type of deal, because that's what I think of when I think of Puerto Rico. Or maybe they just need, an isolated area to shoot. Who knows? But they're going to shoot it. The good thing about it is, since you got the writers' strike bullshit going on,
they're people too.
Yeah, well, this script was already written, or at least halfway written. I don't know if it was halfway written. It really didn't say it in the article. It just said that it's given a green light. So if it's given a green light, fuck them. They don't need a writer. They already got it. I guess.
True.
So
yeah, but you got the actors.
Well, the actors are going to get paid. It's mostly people that are doing shows that are.
Yeah, but you got a lot of actors going on strike too.
Well, they're just doing that in support of the other ones. Like most of them is because they done a series, and it's been shown on a streaming series network, and they're bitching because they're not getting royalties because of the replay clickability. For example, if you made a show that came out in 1998 and it's on Peacock, and they do the numbers and it's like the number 3 show watched on Peacock, well, everybody that is involved in that show, even though it was years ago, it's kind of like it's royalties. It's kind of like It doesn't matter if you make a commercial in 2023. If you want to use a Rolling Stone song for your commercial, you pay the Rolling Stones.
My question is, like, I understand TV, like the royalties with TV and everything,
right?
And you know, when they replay an episode, they get paid so much per replay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Is it the same for streaming services?
No,
like,
that's the problem.
Well, I'm saying like I don't understand like how. I guess this is the subscribers to like say Netflix, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't get like Netflix doesn't get paid every time somebody plays an episode. They just get paid for the subscribers.
Well,
right?
Not necessarily.
Okay. See, I don't understand how that fucking
It's kind of like if you have a series. See, normally this is what will happen. Okay. An actor will sign on to do a series. It will be picked up. In today's world, it will be picked up by a streaming service.
Right.
Okay? They'll get paid a flat rate for actually doing the show.
Okay.
Now, back in the day, there used to be a clause in the contract.
Clause. Yeah, gotcha.
So, like, every time the fucking Andy Griffin show replayed on television, Andy Griffin got paid. And basically, they're not rioting. They're not doing no bullshit, but they're protesting because they want the same deal from the streaming services. If you notice, the same thing goes. Like if you go to the WWE Network and you click on something with Jesse Ventura, he doesn't get paid. But back in the day, if you bought a tape with him on it, you got paid. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's different nowadays, and it's really crazy because what about if you make a show and it takes off? It like becomes the number one show in the world. People are, let's just say
The Last of Us,
or Stranger Things, or something like that. Something that's not expected to garner, anything huge, but surprisingly it does. And so now you have millions upon millions of Americans watching the show, and these actors are being, watched 1 million times a fucking day.
Yeah.
And, they don't get any money for it or whatever. But if it was on television, they would. See how fucked up that is? Especially when streaming is more common today.
Yeah.
Like
cable TV is a thing of the past.
Well, like I was about to say, I don't know how it is today, but I know most people have streaming service. I don't know. You might do a survey, and cable still might be the number one thing or whatever, but among a certain demographic, I don't think that's true.
I'd say between 40 and younger is streaming. Anything over that is probably like TV. Like my dad does cable still, and it's fucking astronomical, which I understand. I know somebody's going to be like, well, if you pay for so many services, it adds up. You're right. But if I pay for, okay, let's just say I pay for 4 streaming services and they're $10 a piece. Just saying. Yeah. That's $40. My dad told me that his fucking Comcast bill was like $280.
Yeah.
Even with my internet's $80. That's still not much as him.
And what does he really watch?
He watches like westerns and fucking the Game Show Network, which you can watch for free on some streaming service like Pluto and shit. They have a gaming channel and a western channel.
Well, as long as you have Wi-Fi.
Well, I mean, okay, so if let's just say you only have internet, right? That's $80 a month. We're just saying. I mean, that's still fucking cheaper.
But old people.
Yeah, I know. They don't want to get with the times. And they call us putts.
Well, even if they have internet, do they have a fucking television that can connect to the internet? No, probably not.
They probably do. They just don't know it.
Well, and old people in technology.
Yeah, I know, but they say we don't know what we're doing.
Anywho,
boomers.
The 1988 remake of The Blob is getting a 4K collector's edition from Scream Factory, so be on the lookout for that.
Cool, that's going to be $45.
The OG Exorcist is coming to 4K Ultra HD for the first time in September. So if you want to see, Reagan puke on the preacher in Ultra 4K, then
I wonder if there's going to be any steelbooks. Like, normally when they come out, like, for the first time, they normally have pretty cool steelbooks.
Well, speaking of that, Friday the 13th is getting a new steelbook.
The first one?
Yeah, the very first one is getting a new steelbook.
God damn.
Again. And it's pretty cool. It has, like, an eye on it. It seems to me like the direction behind it is I see you, but you don't see me, kind of like that point of view, how the killing was in the first film.
Right.
That's kind of like the cover of it. It's like, it's the eye, but you see the reflection in the eye, and you see the lake, and you see the kids out there and shit like that. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, it's pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of the way you're describing of the new 4K Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, yeah.
It has that eye thing on it. Maybe that's the theme that they're going with.
There's a new film coming out called Where the Devil Roams, and it has found a home, and it will premiere on Tubi sometime in the winter. And I read what the movie's about. It sounds pretty freaking cool. The movie is set in the Great Depression era, and it follows a family of murderous sideshow performers as they travel the dying carnival circuit. So, kind of like the American horror story freak show type of deal. It takes place during the Great Depression. The carnival circuit, who was, pretty significant in the 1800s and early 1900s, but after the Great Depression, that traveling carnival freak show type of deal kind of died out in America. And now we call them liberals. Ha! That was a joke. But
so it's kind of like a new spin off of Freaks.
Yeah, it's kind of a Freaks. It's kind of like a traveling carnival circus. And it's during the dying days, so it's probably, people are not as big on them. So,
right.
You know what I mean? Like people making fun of them or whatever. Who knows? We'll just got to see. But their new home is going to be on Tubi sometime during the winter. So
it's a movie, right?
Yeah, it's a movie.
Cool.
So
we'll watch it. We'll review it. I need something other than a goddamn demon possession movie.
Speaking of Ghost, there's a new movie on Screambox called The Ghastly Brothers, okay? And it's a horror comedy, and the reviews are in, and one review had caught my attention because it said, it's Ghostbusters meets Beetlejuice in a wild and crazy horror comedy. So if you have Screambox and you want a little comedy horror in your life, check out The Ghastly Brothers.